Welcome back to Oxtools, and I'm Tom. So I think it's probably high time that I made a frequently asked questions video. So a good portion of what I do during the week in connection with the videos is answer comments. And a lot of the same questions get asked over and over and over again. And so I think it's probably time I did a frequently asked questions video. That way I can just say, hey, go see the fact. Because, like I said, a good portion of my time during the week that I'm not working on projects is answering comments. And I like to answer the comments because a lot of really good stuff comes through in the comments. A lot of it's just chit-chat, people saying hello and thanking me for videos and things like that, which is wonderful, and I like to make those connections with those folks. Answering the same question over and over gets kind of old, so that's why we do frequently asked question lists and videos. So let's jump right into it. I got a bunch, and if I think of more, then I'll probably edit this video and add on to it and re-release it from time to time as the list grows. So let's jump right into it, and we'll just take a look at some stuff and put these questions to rest. Okay, so let's start out with this one. A lot of folks see me using this this canned air, so this is a subject of a lot of speculation. And these were sent to me by a viewer, and these actually work really good. But the main reason I use them is because they're quiet. Okay, and I have a compressor, but it's a very noisy one, and I'm going to give you a little view of that. Okay, there's my compressor down here, and this is basically a device for converting electricity into noise. Okay, yes, it pumps some air from time to time, but these are a lot quieter. And I share this space with my wife, and she doesn't like the sound of air blowing or the compressor running because it resonates in the concrete wall, off the concrete walls of the shop. So until I get a nice quiet compressor, I'll be using this. So anyway, that's the reason. I don't use much of it. You guys have probably noticed. So it's not like I'm buying cases and cases of this stuff. I use it a little bit when I have a little hole I got to blow out or something like that, and so I end up not using that much of it. Okay, so the next one is these Spillmaster Cups that I use all the time. People don't seem to be able to find these on their own, and honestly, they're kind of listed in kind of an odd way. Anyway, these are they're available from McMaster Car, and I'll put the part number up on the screen. Also, Ackley Metal Products. Phone number is 714-979-7431. Okay, so there they are. This is what they look like when they come in a package from McMaster. Okay, and then the next part of the question on this is, what do I have in them? Okay, so this is what's in them. This came with my milling machine, so there was a gallon of it, and I'm working my way through it. You can't get this anymore. It works great, and it's a nice stuff. It's a nice cutting oil, but you can't buy it anymore. You just can't find it anywhere. So don't even try. It's not worth it, because this is just as good. And so basically these are equal in my eyes, and this is readily available. You can buy this from any of the mail order houses in the US at least. So that's what's in these for me, is a little bit of this or a little bit of that, and sometimes I thin it with a little WD-40 just so it flows a little bit better. Anyway, that's the Spillmaster saga. Okay, so here's the next one. People ask me about this soda bottle back here all the time, and what this is a little coolant dispensing system that I built, and I did a video on this, so you need to go back into the videos and root around for it, or use the search function, and it'll tell you all about this. Oops. Anyway, this is just a vessel. It's a pressure vessel and the coolant storage, so air comes in, pressurizes the bottle, and depending on which one of these valves I open up here. I can get pure air through this, or I can get pure coolant, or I can get a mixture of coolant and air. So I can kind of tune it, you know, the volume and the balance for whatever I happen to be doing over on the mill. Anyway, this is homemade. I made this this manifold here, and it has special threads that adapt to the bottle, and an O-ring seal, and a little dip tube. This is a commercial regulator, and then this is a commercial product from Noga, which I just bought this part. I was making one of these, and then I saw this, and I bought it, and I said, ooh, that works pretty good. So anyway, it works real good, and this is a cheap, you know, basically a free pressure vessel. These are good for quite a bit of pressure. They make these water rockets out of these, so these are pretty sturdy, and you can make your own manifold and do whatever you want. Anyway, that's the story on that one. Okay, next one up is this. Everybody asked me about this thing. There's a lot of people that are knife aficionados out there. Oh, look at that piece of paper stuck in there. This is a Microtech Scarab, okay, and it's called an out the front. Don't try to buy one of these. You can't. Most people can't anyway. It's got the little Scarab emblem on it. Anyway, a lot of people ask me about this. There it is. There's the emblem on the side, the Microtech. And yes, I do sharpen it. So people that are wondering about that. But you know, I only use it around the shop. I don't go out in public with this. Okay. Anyway, that's the knife, guys. So Microtech Scarab. Okay, here's the next one. A lot of guys have asked me about this DRO, and I guess I kind of failed to conclude the installation video, so that's kind of my bad there. So let's just say that I'm very, very happy with this, and I would very easily recommend it to anybody. This is from the DRO Pros, and this is the EL400, I think is, yeah, it's the EL400, I think. And I have the magnetic scales that you can cut the length yourself, but I didn't need to cut them. It's functioning fine. I did have one little problem with it, but it was really related to the, I had to add an extension to one of the reed head cables, and for some reason it didn't like the extension cable that I've got for it. So I went back to just the stock length, and it's fine. But I think it was probably the cable that I bought. So maybe I bought a crappy cable or something, I don't know. And the other thing, my only other gripe with this is when you're using multiple tools, getting those set and then changing between those tools is a little bit of a hassle on this one. It's got a lot of functionality on the front that you just don't use, and I just kind of wish that that tool functionality was right on the front with buttons, as opposed to something stupid like you know, angular measurements that you never do all the time. Okay, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so but other than that, it works fine. It's accurate. It calibrates well. I leave it on all the time. I don't even bother to turn it off, and I've been really happy with it. So talk to the DRO Pros, and if you're thinking about a DRO, this is a really good one. Okay, so this is the next one up here. I get a lot of questions about this 6-jaw chuck. Why do I like it? And you know, are these better than 3-jaw chucks? And you know, things like that. So my answer to that is yes, I like it. Yes, I think they're better than 3-jaw chucks, and I'll explain why in a sec. They do some things better than 3-jaw chucks do. So to me, there's no particular disadvantage to a 6-jaw chuck other than its cost. Okay, so there's two disadvantages with 6-jaw chucks compared to 3-jaw chucks, and one of them is the cost, like I just said, and the other is the minimum diameter that you can close them to. So in general, let's see if we'll run this down. Since there's more jaws coming together, okay, you can see that the minimum diameter. So a 3-jaw of this size could close down smaller than that. Okay, so that and the cost are really the only 2 disadvantages that I can think of. They hold thin wall parts better, they grip parts in general better, and you know, that's one of the reasons they're more expensive too. Okay, now this one is a one that you can dial in. So if I put something in there and I really want it to run true, I can loosen these screws here and then dial it in like a 4-jaw, so I get 0 run out, lock it all down, and it behaves like a 4-jaw. Okay, although this one is in good condition, and it seems to you know, it seems to run real concentric, down small or up big. So and this is a Pratt and Bernard, or Bernard, and it's made in England. But there's lots of good makes of 6-jaw chucks out there. So if you're kind of on the fence with that and you got a few extra bucks, I'd recommend one. Okay, so this is the next one up. Some guys asked me about these gloves that I wear in the videos from time to time, and these are these Maxi Flex. And they're sold, and I'll put the link up on the screen, www.atgglovesolutions.com. Whitecap sells them, S&F Safety Solutions sell them locally here. But what it is it's a breathable neoprene. So they're not liquid proof, so that they breathe through the backs, and they breathe through the front. Well, these things are like being like Spider-Man, okay? So it increases your grip and protects your hands, and they don't get sweaty. You know, yeah, they're a little bit warm, you know, when you work in them for long periods of time, but not sweaty type warm. So anyway, I get some questions about those from time to time. They're about $3 a pair, and they can be a little bit hard to find. But you guys are awesome web surfers anyway, so you should be able to come up with them. So they're color coded on the cuff by size. These are extra large with the yellow, and the large has a red piping on the cuff. Okay, awesome gloves. Once you try them, you'll throw away all your other gloves except for welding. They suck for heat. Okay, so this is the other one I get a bunch of questions on here too, is the milling machine. And I'm zoomed out right now a little bit. I'll bring you in a little closer here in a sec. It's an Acra, which is a Taiwanese Bridgeport clone. I think it's one of the better ones myself. We had some of these in our old shop, and they lasted a long time, and they were nice machines and accurate, so totally happy with this. I bought it used. It's a 9x42, which is 230 by 1100 millimeters this way, roughly, and 2 or 3 horsepower. I can't remember which, although you barely ever get close to that. Got a Quill digital readout here, okay, which is a standalone unit. You hear me talking about this a lot. This is the way to go with the 3rd axis readout. I would never put one on the knee. I would always put it on the Quill. That's just my preference. So 2-axis DRO here, and power feed, Cheapco Tom power feed. Okay. And people wonder how I make fine adjustments when I'm using that. Is I have a wrench here, and there's a little hex here, so I can make a little quick adjustment, and that just lives right there. This is the other thing that people ask about all the time. It clears this handle right here. So when that's up, you can't hit that because those tend to get in each other's way once in a while. Okay, so I'll bring it a little closer here. Okay, so here you can see the you can see the knee power feed, and then the little hex unit on here, so that I can turn that. And this is all just homemade stuff here. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's the Quill readout here, and this is just a Mitutoyo bolt-on unit. They're about $200, something like that. I would always recommend the standalone unit here, and the reason is when you have a dedicated read head here, a normal / DRO thing, is they have to route a cable away here, and there's no good clean way to route this cable so that it doesn't work anyway. This is a point of failure on a lot of milling machines, is where this cable inserts into the read head, and because you're constantly moving this over and over and over, so it just it works it. So I would always recommend a standalone Quill readout, and this is really handy, much more handy than having this on the knee, in my opinion. Okay, so this is my main lathe here. I don't get a lot of questions about this, but it's a Yam, and which is I believe Taiwanese, and it's a knockoff of a Morsiki, and with a couple little differences, but mainly it's a copy of a Morsiki. It's got hardened bedways. This is a gap model here. It's got an integral chip pan, which solidifies the whole machine and makes it very, very rigid. It's a beast. It's about 7.5 horsepower, I believe. 7 horsepower. It's got a foot brake, which is really nice. And I don't know, it goes up to 1800 RPMs and down to about 30 RPMs. 450 millimeter swing with the gap in, and then it goes up to, you know what, I don't know what it goes up to, 22 inches in the gap, I think, something like that. No, more than that. What is it? Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't had the gap out, so I'm not sure. But anyway, a lot bigger. It's about 1 meter center to center, and so I can turn about 40 inches uninterrupted there. Very happy with it. It's a very sturdy machine. Ultimately, I want to get a smaller tool room type lathe, high speed for collets and stuff. I don't know what else can I say. I did a review of this particular machine in my evaluating and moving a metalworking lathe video, so you can see it a little more detail in that video. This is a 12-inch chuck, 6-jaw on there. I have face plates for it and steady rests as well, so it's pretty well tooled. Okay, so the last thing is, people ask me about the books that I wrote, and I don't push the advertising on the YouTube channel. I kind of let people discover it on their own. But in case you want to know, yes, I wrote a couple of books, and they're on machine work and metalworking. Okay, just to clarify, this was the first one, and then this was the second one. Now, just to clarify, there's a lot of the same material in here. What we did with this one was the audience that we were looking to appeal to is different. So this is a massive reorganization of this one. Okay, and I think it's much better organized than this one. This has more pictures probably and slightly more content. But this one is much better organized for looking through. Both of these are available on ebooks now, and so anyway, there it is. So you probably don't need both of them, although if you feel like having both of them, by all means go for it. So anyway, yes, I wrote a couple of books, and there they are. There's the titles, so off you go.